All right, first and foremost, I want to say call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, that's all praise to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world innately calls Jesus Christ. It's your brother Tazarat from Phoenix Sicarii, right? We had to take a little studying break, right? Because it's all well, fine, and dandy to do videos, but you know what I'm saying? You have to take that time to study and, you know what I'm saying, get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Don't overwhelm yourself, right? Stay steadfast. So as you see, reincarnation, right? We're dealing with reincarnation. Reincarnation is supported by the Bible, right? You die, you come back to earth. Not the sense as in zodiac signs, because zodiac signs talk about you die and then you could be your grandma's couch, you can be a vacuum, you can be a rug, you can be a cat or an ant, you know, things of that nature, and we don't support that, right? You come back as the same people, right? So if you were an Israelite before, you come back as an Israelite. If you're from the tribe of Judah, you go back, or you come back as a Judite, right? But that might be in a different video. This one, we're just gonna basically understand what happens to our spirits as we pass away, and then what is the time period of us waiting in heaven for us to come back down. And then we're going to go into where do we receive our judgment, right? Because it goes into the topic of hell. And with that, if we go to heaven, we receive our judgment, right? In which that judgment will be. But we live out that judgment on earth, it completely debunks the topic or the ideology, the theology of hell, heaven and hell. Right. And then we're going to get into, just further proving it. Right. So, all right. Job 3:17 through 19 in the GNT. It says, in the grave, wicked people stop their evil, and tired workers find rest at last. Even prisoners enjoy peace, free from shouts and harsh commands. Everyone is there, the famous and the unknown, and the slaves are at last are free. Right? So when we die, we all go to the grave. Right? That's plain and simple, right? We all go to the grave. Those who are wicked go to the grave. Those who are poor go to the grave. And everybody is at rest. Right? Now, because some of these are in different translations, right? Ecclesiastes 3:21 in the KJV, it says, who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth, right? The spirit of a man goes up, right? All spirits or all people, when we pass away, it doesn't matter what nation you are, you go up to the Father, right? And when you go up to the Father, you are then put on, saying on the spectrum, like, boom, this is what this person did. This is how he lived or she lived. This is what he or she said, things of that nature, right? Ecclesiastes 10:7. Not 10:7. 12:7. Is this in the KJV? Yep. Ecclesiastes 12:7. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it, right? The spirit, when you pass away, your body decays on earth and your spirit goes up into heaven, right? We're just going to further prove this. Because if we understand that the Most High deals with measurements, right? And heaven has a certain measurement, right? He's very structured and ordered, and he's very organized, right? Even with the temple, it has to be made certain cubits long, things of that nature, right? If God is just constantly creating spirits because somebody is, somebody's evil, they get sent down to hell forever and ever, right? He would constantly be having to make new spirits because, like, all the spirits are just going to hell, right? This is Genesis 2:2. It says, and on the seventh day, God ended his work. right? Now we believe that Christ and the angels carved the earth and things of that nature, but that's a whole nother topic, right? And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. Right? Let's go into these words. And on the seventh day, God ended his work. And was it talking about? To accomplish, to cease, right? Consume, determine, to end, fail, finish, be complete, be accomplished, be ended, be at an end, be finished, be spent, right? You get the point, right? The work that in which Yahweh and the angels had conducted in creating the earth and the things in it is done, right? And it says, and he made, and he rested, right? What is the rest, right? Shabbat, right? That goes into the word Shabbat. It says to cease, right? I mean, not the word Shabbat, it's a lot. It says to cease, desist, rest, to cease, rest, to cease. You get the, to exterminate, destroy, to cause to decease from, to remove, to cause to fail, right? To keep or reserve the Sabbath. Done working, right? He's not creating no more souls, right? Or no more spirits. So what are happening to these spirits, right? If the spirit goes up, what's going on with these spirits, right? How long does it take for a spirit to come back on the earth? Is this in KJV? Yes. All right, Exodus 20:5. It says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." So when you die, your spirit goes up to the Father, right? The works in which you conducted on earth is put to trial, right? If you were extremely great servant and you served the Most High through thick and thin and you never gave up, those works are going to be told. If you were a disobedient child, the same thing. And it takes about 3 to 4 generations for you to finally come back to receive your judgment, right? This is why when they crucified Christ, he said, "Let his blood be upon us and our children." We also see in Jeremiah 17:4, it says, "Thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage." But Jeremiah stayed steadfast with the faith. So it's just showing you that these prophets are going to constantly be reincarnated, right? And the next video is going to be cool because we're going to show different people being reincarnated and things of that nature, right? So let's go to, this is just a regular KJV. All right, 14 and 15, right? No, not 15. 18, it's a lot. All right, 14 and 18. I mean, I guess we could read it in the GNT, but I'd rather have it in the KJV. This is crazy. Do you not have the regular KJV? Thank you. So, all right, 14 and 18 in the KJV. It says, "As of the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow," right? We understand the different seasons in which the earth is in rotation of. So you have a tree, the leaves fall, new leaves grow and take that place, right? It says, "So is the generation of flesh and blood. One cometh to an end and another is born," right? So it's just constantly showing you that cycle, like boom, one generation comes, they die, another one is brought back on the scene, another one is brought back on the scene, another one is brought back on the scene, right? So it's just showing you that that's how the Most High works in, putting them generations back on. It's not just this generation falls away and is done forever and ever. No, they go back up to the Father, receive their judgment, and their judgment is being brought back down to earth, right? We're going to get that in a second. What that says. Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. It says, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever, right? So it's just showing you that one generation passes, and then another one comes back, right? So I need this one in the GNC. Right, Revelation 14 and 13. We're going to read it in KJV first. Revelation 14 and 13 in the KJV, it says, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. What does it mean that their works do follow them? When they pass away, their works that they did on earth is being brought back to the Most High, right? So you have the angel, taking a tab on everything that you do, and now you're being on a trial, right? This is what this brother's been doing. This is what he's been saying. This is how he's been conducting himself, so on and so forth. And it gets brought to the Most High, right? We're going to read it in the KG or in the GNT. It says, then I heard a voice from heaven saying, write this, happy are those who from now on die in the service of the Lord. Yes, indeed, answers the Spirit. They will enjoy rest from their hard work because the results of their service go with them, right? The results in which you have served are going up to the Most High for you now to be put on that trial, right? Lord willing, everybody watching this video succeeds on that trial if you're an Israelite. Right, Hebrews 9 and 27. It says, and it is appointed, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment, right? Somebody can take this and be like, see, man only dies once, but if he's reincarnated, he dies multiple times. Again, a man on earth, right? Your body decays one time. That same body doesn't get molded back up out of the dirt. And then you're brought back in the womb. A new body is created, so on and so forth, right? But it says, but after this, the judgment. Because after you die, you go receive your judgment, right? CEB or just a regular KJV, right? Why do you do this? Second Ezra 14 and 35 in the KJV, right? Watch this. It says, for after death shall the judgment come. After you die, then you get your judgment. Watch this. When we shall live again. When you live again after your death, that is your judgment. This is why it says, visiting the iniquity upon the children up until the third and fourth generation, because that is when you are reincarnated. And so when you're reincarnated, now you're living out your judgment, right? It says, then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared, right? So when you die, you go to the Father, you get your judgment, and you come back down to earth. And that is where you live out your judgment. Nowhere does it talk about you go to burn forever, right? Now we're going to get into all those in a different video, not this video, right? Second Ezra 4 and 35 in the CEB, right? It says right here. It says, didn't the souls of the just in their resting places, right? Again, these are the souls of the righteous, right? These are righteous people who are in their resting places. What is their resting places? They're dead. They're in the grave, right? And their spirit went up to the Most High. So it says, didn't the souls of the just in their resting places ask about these things, saying, how long are we to remain here? And when will we harvest and when will the harvest of our reward come? How long are we going to sit here and wait for our reward? But if they're just and they're righteous, they should get their judgment and stay in heaven and live in heaven and just be good, right? They're just walking around in gold palaces, the floors are pearls and things of that nature, whatever the Christian church tells us. Why are they saying, how long are we going to remain here? I thought they're in heaven. I thought that's their judgment. They get a rest in heaven. But they're like, no, how long are we going to remain here? And when will we be able to reap what we sowed? When are we going to be able to get our reward? Because they're waiting to be reincarnated to receive their reward on earth. That's why 2 Ezra 14 and 35, it says, for after that shall the judgment come. They got their judgment. Their judgment was, you are going to reap good things, or you have reaped good things. So now the fruit of your labors will be plentiful, right? It'll be righteous and it'll be just, and you'll rejoice in your labors. And it says, when we shall live again. They're waiting to live again on earth, saying, damn, bro, like, when are we going to reap our reward? Right? Second is 4:30, starting at 38. Oh yeah, I need this in the GTD. I wonder if I can. Which one is it? GNTD. Let me just look it up. All right, second Ezra 4 in the GNTD, and we're going to start at verse 38. Right? It says, but sir, I replied, all of us here on earth are such wicked sinners. Is it possible that because of our sin, the righteous dead are having to wait for their reward? Why is Esdras having this? So he's asking the angel, is it because of our sin that the righteous now have to wait for their reward? But if they're in heaven and they're dead, why are they waiting for their reward? Again, this is right after he said in verse 35, your questions are the same ones asked by the souls of the righteous dead in their places, where God is keeping them waiting. How long must we wait here? When will the day of judgment come when we will get our reward? But people say when we die, we go to heaven. He's in a better place now. He's with God and the angels. He's watching over you. Apparently, everybody's just going to heaven, right? I mean, evilest people just resting in peace, right? So the angel is telling him, like, yo, the angels are asking, or the angel told him, those who are righteous and are dead and up in heaven, and God is making them wait, they're asking the same question. When are they going to get their reward? So he responds in verse 38, but sir, I replied, all of us here on earth are such wicked sinners. Is it possible that because of our sin, the righteous dead are having to wait for their reward? His answer was, can a pregnant woman keep her child from being born after her 9 months are up? He's basically saying they have their time, right? You're not holding up anything. When they get their reward is when they get their reward. You can't prolong it and you can't rush it. This is something that's going to happen in due time. He says, no, sir, she cannot, I answered. And he continued, in the world of the dead, the place where God has stored the souls is like a womb. In the world of the dead, God stored the souls, right? He put them in a certain place and they have to wait. Why? Because upon a third and fourth generation, they're going to come back. So they have to wait in their places and come back. It says, it is as eager to return the souls entrusted to it from the beginning of the world as a woman is to end her labor pains. When that happens, you will have the answers to all your questions. Are we stopping here? We're going to keep going. Yeah, we're stopping here, right? So we see, just with Ezra talking with the angel, it gives us a more understanding that these souls that are righteous are just waiting, right? You can't tell a woman who is pregnant that you have to push the baby out now. It's not ready. She's 5 months pregnant. She can't force that baby to come out. Or maybe it's 9 months she can't keep that baby inside of her. The baby's naturally going to come out, right? So everything is working on the plans of the Most High. But just know that those souls are being stored and they have to wait for their reward, right? Let's go to, which one's in the KJV? Why are you doing that? Second Esdras 5 in the KJV. We're going to read verse 41, right? So it says, and I said, behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved to the end. You are close to them that are reserved till the end. And what shall they do that they have been before me? And what will that and slop? Or we that be now, or they that shall come after us? And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. A lot of times, we bring this out like, with other nations, like you did this, so it's going to come back to you, right? You put us in slavery, so you got to go in slavery. But it's also talking about us, right? If I don't want to put myself in that position, but if you have a brother who was wicked and he was evil in his life, when he comes back, that judgment's going to come to a ring. So now the Lord's going to be evil to you. Right now, you're going to have a harsh punishment because you completely denied the Lord and you persecuted his prophets and you hated the Lord so much that you love the enemies over yourself. Right. So now you're going to reap nothing but pain and tribulation. Right. It says, like as there is no slackness of the last, even there is no swiftness of the first. So I answered and said, couldst thou not make those that have been made and be now, and that are for to come at once, right? Why can't everybody just come at the same time and we don't have to wait for this cycle? We can just all do it at the same time and get it over with. It says that thou mightest shew thy judgment the sooner, right? He basically telling them, why can't you just do this sooner? Then answered he me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker, right? Lord's doing everything on his own time. Neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. The world is too small to hold all the souls that are stored, or all the spirits that are stored in heaven. Right? It says, and I said, as thou, now watch this, it says, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein, right? The world, it's that third and fourth generation, right? One generation passes away, another one is brought back. Them is stored there, then boom, and it's just a constant recycle, right? It says, and I said, as thou hast said unto thy servant that thou, which givest life to all, hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and the creature bare it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. It says, and he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once, right? So a woman can have 10 children, right? It's possible. But 10 children at once, the stomach is not big enough, right? She would have to be an extremely large woman to carry 10 children at once, right? And even then, it's just impossible for her to give birth of 10 children at once, right? She'll physically die, right? If they all come out at the same time, right? This is a cycle, like boom, 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 right? It says, and I said she cannot, but must do it by distance of time, right? So one is born, the next is born, the next is born. It's the same thing with the generations. One comes, goes, one comes, goes, one comes, goes. Right, it says, then said he unto me, even so I have given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times. Right, so everybody has their time appointed, right, and everybody's going to reap what they sow on earth, right? Let's get the words of Christ. Right, Matthew 5 and 19. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so. This is something that, let's do this. I believe it's watch this. Matthew 18:6. It says, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Right. So if you offend one of the little ones, it was better for you to tie a brick to your neck, throw it over the bridge, and just drown to death. Right. It was better for you to do that than to offend one of the little ones. What does offend mean? Right, this word offend is talking about put a stumbling block, an impediment in the way upon which another may trip or fall, right? To entice to sin, right? We all understand what sin is. Sin is the transgressions of the law, right? So it will be better for you to drown to death than for you to teach somebody to sin, right? In Matthew 5:19, it says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, so this man is sinning, and shall teach men so, and now he's teaching other men to sin, which is something that is not good, right? He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Why is he in the kingdom of heaven if Christ said it was better for you to drown to death? Wouldn't he just go to hell? Why is he in the kingdom of heaven? It doesn't say that he will be burning forever and ever by the hands of Satan. No, it says you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to be in the kingdom of heaven, but you're just going to be least in the kingdom of heaven, right? What does that word least mean? Right? Smallest, least in size, amount, management affairs, an authority of commandments, an estimation of men, of persons, in rank or excellence of persons, right? Dignity, very least, very little, smallest, right? So he's not going to have a high notoriety. He's not going to be one of the top dogs, right? Because we see it says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven, right? So if you're keeping the commandments and you're teaching other people to keep the commandments, you're going to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But if you're breaking them and you're teaching other people to break them, you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But they're both going to the kingdom of heaven, right? It's speaking about Israelites, right? It's not speaking about everybody. Let's see what that word great is, right? So even Christ is giving you the understanding of people being in heaven, even though they were disobedient. It disproves the doctrine of hell. An external form, particularly in space. 23. It says, what it's talking about being called great in the kingdom of heaven. It says persons eminent for ability, virtue, authority, power, things esteemed highly for their importance, of great moment, of great weight, importance. A thing to be highly esteemed for its excellence. Excellent. It says splendid, prepared on the grand stand. Right, y'all get the point, right? So this is just showing you that even Christ has an understanding that, boom, you gonna teach men to break the commandments. It's better for you to just kill yourself, right? But if you do that, you're just going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. You have to suffer death by pain, right? And you definitely have to go through a lot of tribulations. There's no telling how the Most High could punish you. Because again, everything that everybody has, God gave it to him, right? And he could take anything away from you, right? Including children, right? I don't want nobody's children to die, but that is possible. He could take your children away from you, right? He could take your arms away from you. He can make you paralyzed from the neck down. He could just make you a vegetable. He could plague you with diseases and things of that nature, right? So don't take this and think, well, I mean, I'll just be called least in the kingdom of heaven, but I'll make it. But it's the path to there, right? You might get jacked up in the process. So y'all get the point, right? This is part one, so I don't want to make it too long. The reason being is because there's going to be multiple parts to this, right? The next one, we're going to go into people actually being reincarnated in the Bible, or being told that they're going to be reincarnated, right? So with that, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushai. That's all praise to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son, who the word inwardly calls Jesus Christ. Kwame Yashrala, right? And stay safe out here, man. Men and women, slot.